What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel Pitol in Motion, a place where busy people and dream chasers looking to achieve their goals in a more efficient way. So if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Ira and I do project management, self-improvement and the occasional lifestyle video. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if that sounds interesting to you. And to the rest of my lovely subscribers coming back for another video, hello, welcome. Nice to have you back, and let's get straight into this one. All right guys, so as you can see today I'm back on my sofa. Well, technically sitting on my floor right now, but I'm back with another sofa chat with Pitol. I've started off this series I think about 4 months ago, and since I haven't really been doing many sofa tours, so I'm back with another one. This kind of series is basically me just kind of going through some of my life experiences, the lessons I've learned, and just opening up a discussion for things that perhaps other people are going through too. So a little bit different from what I usually do, but I also hope that you enjoy. Please make sure you put down some comments and also like this video if you also enjoy it. Today guys, I'm gonna be keeping it all the way real. Like I said, I like to keep it authentic. I like to keep it quite vulnerable if necessary. And we're gonna be talking about my business that I had, emphasis on had, which unfortunately failed in my opinion, and I had to close down. Already just very triggering, a little bit emotional, but I think it was the best thing I needed to do. I learned so much, and I think that's my main takeaway from my business, in as much as, you know, it failed by my definition of failing. Didn't make much money, didn't achieve what it was I set it up to do initially. There's so many learnings that I've taken from that experience that now going into the future and doing all these things, being an entrepreneur, which I truly do believe I am on the inside, and starting new ventures, these are definitely things that I've got at the forefront of my mind. So guys, don't be like me, don't be like me. It's time for us to learn from each other. So yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into that. So my business was called Peerless Pitol, and it was an events management and consulting business. We provided services that allow people to get support in the management and delivery of any kind of event that they wanted to do, but also if there was like a project or an event that they wanted to do themselves but just needed a bit of advice and help with guidance, etc., I also offered that as consulting services. So that was the crux of what I did. Mainly things like weddings, product launches, birthday parties, a list. That's what the scope of my work was initially. I really got into this mainly because me being a project manager, I've always enjoyed planning things and putting things together. And I just thought, you know, it would be nice to have another stream of income as well. But I think also mainly because of my friends used to gas me up so much. I remember for my 18th birthday, I did it big, guys. I did it big. I planned my 18th birthday party, full-on hall party. I got people to take material. If you're not Nigerian and you don't know what that means, it means generally in Nigerian parties, we kind of arrange for everyone to wear the same type of material, and then you go and sew whatever kind of design that you want to do. So I got all of that. There was a full-on program. People were so impressed, and I absolutely enjoyed that experience. I just knew, you know what, that's a bit of me. So even from a very young age, when it came to planning things, especially events, gathering people, allowing people to come around, that's just my bag. That's what I enjoy doing. So naturally, turning that into a business, I just thought, do you know what, I actually enjoy doing that. I've done it a couple times, not paid. Also, I was approaching my 25th birthday. I remember this so distinctively. I was approaching my 25th birthday, and I was just like, yeah, what have I done with my life? I don't know if any of you feel like that when you get closer to a birthday, you start to just like reflect and think, you know, especially when it's like a milestone birthday, like what have you done? So I think I kind of used this as an opportunity for me to be like, okay, I actually want to feel like I've achieved something before I turn 25. So I aimed towards my 25th birthday, and this is actually, I launched it on my 25th birthday, in fact. So Peerless Pitol was the name I chose. I set that up, and I wanted to do it well. One thing about me is anything I put my hands to do is gonna be with some sophistication. It's gonna be well, just because that's just the kind of person I am. So I designed my website myself. I made it nice and sleek because, you know, we also got to utilize the coins, but I also wanted to do a launch party. And upon reflection, I think it was more vanity. I kind of masked it behind, okay, I want people to network and I want to get exposure out there. But I'm going to go into why that was just a very myopic way of thinking, or more so the infrastructure for that to actually be beneficial just wasn't there. So this is what we actually thinking. I did a launch party. I did it in the Hilton Tower Hotel in I think Tower Bridge. So it was absolutely, I can't lie guys, it was actually the day after my birthday as well, so I used it as an opportunity to celebrate my birthday. It was so nice, you know, lots of people came out. I sold tickets as a way to generate some income, but also to break even. That was quite important to me. I had two wonderful friends of mine that also helped me with the business and starting up. So we all presented the business, but ultimately it was owned by me end to end. There was canapes, there was entertainment, there was everything. It was a great event. But yeah, the launch goes, you know, and after a while you start to be like, okay, then I need to actually get some clients, you know. All this lovely theatrics is over. And I think that was one thing I actually thought. I thought, you know, launch it and get some kind of publicity, and then everyone's gonna, it's just gonna pop off. I'll get clients left, right and center. One night. Let's fast forward guys. I hope you can get a little bit of a context to where my business was at the time. Cool. So now that's all done. The theatrics is done. It's time to get down to the business. We need to make some money because that's what we said we're gonna do, right? Getting clients. First of all, that was difficult because as someone working in a service industry, it's really hard for people to want to trust you with their event if they haven't seen what you've done. So I already knew, right, cool, I might need to get something on my spreadsheet that might not be well paid, but it will be able to enable me to start to build a portfolio. And luckily for me, one of the first events that I did was actually one of my auntie's events. She was doing a 50th birthday party. It was quite large scale and I supported, and she actually paid me, and maybe not my day rate, but she really supported me in that. So I was able to get a few clients, not from her event, but like a few family or a few friends that were doing things. So it was a slow start. I wouldn't say I made much money. I definitely didn't make a loss, but it was really difficult to lift it off the ground. After that, yeah, pandemic hit, like literally 2020, I think it was like around January, February, and lockdown really hit. I did have like one or two clients that I managed to pitch to and get them to have their event in 2020, but because of the pandemic, there was a lot of uncertainty. So now I've launched the business, really had a big bang start, and pandemic's here. I've got a couple events under my belt, but nowhere near the price point for me to actually make somewhat of a living out of this. And then I just started to feel really unmotivated. Long story short, I did make a decision to close down my business roughly about a year ago now. And although the pandemic did stifle my business in terms of how much clients I could get, and it definitely contributed to the reason why I did close it, it wasn't the main reason. My business did not have a correct business model. It was not scalable. After a while, it didn't even become fun doing it, and more importantly, it wasn't particularly special. It really wasn't. In as much as I tried to market it as high-end luxury and all of this, it wasn't particularly special. Right, let's get into some of my key learnings, and hopefully if you've got a business and you're feeling a bit about it, whether you should or you shouldn't close it, maybe this will help you make the right decision for you and your business. So my first lesson from my failed business is businesses that required human labor to keep it going ain't it. Period. That's all I'm gonna say. It ain't it. I work in project management, and I should have been able to know this from the beginning. Like, humans are the issue, and this is one thing I will definitely say. I had two wonderful friends. In fact, they're still my friends. Why am I saying like that? But at the time, two wonderful friends, Courtney and Lisa, that helped me to support my business. In terms of when we had a contract on the day, I need people to support me, and they did a fantastic job in doing that, right? But ultimately, it's just too much reliance on other people. For whatever reason, Lisa or Courtney couldn't support me. I needed to be able to have a portfolio portfolio of people to be able to support me on the day, especially if it was on short notice, either one of them couldn't make it. I didn't have that portfolio, and it left me in a very, very vulnerable position. I do also think of it this way, like, yo, what if I'm taken out on the day? My client can't do nothing, I can't do anything. Like, it's just such a vulnerable place to be. I do truly believe that setting up a business model where it really requires humans alone to keep generating money is really hustling backwards. And that's something that I just wouldn't do anymore. I'm really thinking like now, if I'm taken out of the game or other people are taken out of the game, and life happens, guys, we just need to really think about this. You don't want to be so reliant on humans, people, and their reliability, or just them being in good health to be able to make money. That is one thing I would definitely say, you know, going forward, looking at ways to make money passively, not having to show up to be able to get your monies up is so, so important. My next lesson will be that when you're starting a business, you don't need to go big to start. Keep your expenses as low as possible. And my days are like, let me use the example of the launch party. I wanted to do it big, a big bang. And now that I think about it, I do truly believe a lot of it was vanity. It was a lot of me thinking and feeling to myself like I want to make a stance and show people that I can do something. I'm about to be 25. I want to show that, you know, at 25, this is what I can do and this is what I've done. But let's think of it from a business standpoint, because that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make some money, we're trying to make coins, we're trying to be businessmen and women. Yeah, the higher your cost and the bigger you do things, right? If you're not getting that investment, it's all money. Any money you put into your business, investment, and you should expect a return. What analysis did you do that was going to produce a return on all that money that you put in? Absolutely none. Like I said, I did sell tickets for my launch party, but really for me to be putting in so much effort, so much time and so much money into such things as a launch party, I should have really been thinking, yo, from this, how many clients do I want to get? How am I going to get those clients? Is this the right place to invest my money? A launch party is not hee hee ha ha, guys. It should be an investment to bring you more clients for the future and get your name out there. I honestly don't believe that launch party was fit for purpose or did exactly that. So really it was just a wasted time. Even stuff like my website, for example, one thing about me is like, oh, I really want to get my website out there before I start. Highly unnecessary. I did the website and I paid for the hosting or whatever. It wasn't too expensive, and I'm glad that I made the website myself. But then when you look at the analytics of how many people actually come to your website and you're hosting it, you're paying monthly for it, and it's not actually generating client leads, why are you paying for a website? This is just dead cost. Like, don't do that. That's what I would definitely say, guys. When you're doing a business, think, do I need to spend this money? Try to keep your cost as low as possible, because that then gives you the greater opportunity to have as much profit as possible. And really, at an early stage of a project, of a business, you don't know how much revenue you're going to be making. So the best way to ensure that at least you break even is to keep your costs low, because that's something that you can control. Number 3, entrepreneurship is time consuming. I already kind of touched on this in the first point, but guys, entrepreneurship, I see everyone, you know, trying to say, you know, got to have multiple streams of income, which is true, and start this business, start this business, start this business. You only got 24 hours in a day. One thing I learned very quickly was, especially when you're starting at the beginning, you are your own HR, you're your marketing, you're your branding, you're your finance officer, your accountant, you're everything. It's you are the business, right? As an entrepreneur. And that is heavily time consuming. Of course, you can look at into outsourcing certain things, but with what money when you haven't got a client yet? Yeah, I didn't think so. Not only is it time consuming, you might not have the necessary skills you need to scale up your business as well. So for example, one of the biggest things right now, especially in the service industry, is to be able to get your services out there, let people see what you can offer, etc. So a lot of that is involved on online marketing. I hated that with a passion. It is not my gift, yo. And I try to keep consistent. It's just not fun. No matter what business you do start up, there are going to be aspects of it that you don't enjoy. And you're just going to have to suck that up, no pain, no gain. But I feel like if I knew that at the beginning, I would have been more aware. I could have asked other people that I know do online businesses and stuff, like, so for some tips and tricks, and just been a lot more prepared. So that's definitely a lesson I took away from it. Just be prepared for that. It is going to be used, it's going to be time consuming. And as a result, if you want to do other things in your life, you need to be highly organized so that other parts of your life do not take the negative brunt from you reprioritizing your time elsewhere. The next one then, guys, lesson number 4, I believe, no niche, no nickel. I'm gonna say it again, no niche, no nickel. Guys, when you're just starting, especially as a new person into a market, especially if it's a saturated market, you will need to fight for space. And when you don't have a niche, you don't have something that's actually differentiating yourself from somewhere else, then like I said, you enter a saturated market where a lot of people are offering the same product or same service, and it's a lot harder to make money because it's simple economics, really. Where there's high supply for something but low demand, you're going to have to push your prices down or try to somewhat convince people 10 times harder that your business is better than the next man. And that is really, really, really tough. I came to realize in my business, I'm not gonna lie, like I kept saying, oh, it's a luxury brand, high service, blah, blah, blah. And it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was 10 out of 10. But a lot of people, even though they don't, how can I say, even though they don't actually provide a good quality service and it's not luxury, if they write luxury, high quality service to the client, it's all the same. In as much as I thought I was creating a niche that people would really want, I wasn't. It was completely a saturated market that I was entering, and because of that, I really did struggle to make money. Obviously, after a while, word of mouth will be the biggest way you get clients, I've come to see. But really, if you do want to scale your business and earn a lot of money fast from the beginning, you need an offering that is different from the rest. And that's something I definitely learned. Also, it's really important to understand the difference between, and I think it's a fine difference, a very difference between your starting rate to get traction and then also just you wasting your time. Like I said, I found it really difficult to get clients, and even though to the outside eye on Instagram, what I was posting, it might seem I have a lot of clients. Guys, I'm repurposing pictures, you know, don't be fooled that I don't have no clients. I'm gonna be real. And because of that, to get traction, like I said, I used to do things highly discounted. But then I remembered, like, event, especially coordination. Imagine you've now coordinated a whole event. You're there from, like, say 12 o'clock, you leave in the afternoon, and you leave at like 12 midnight. That's 12 hours, and you're bringing home what, £70? Excuse me? After a while, you just realize that I'm tired and I've earned nothing. Like, this goes beyond, you know, reducing your costs so that you can get traction and whatever, and other people come to you, and good God almighty, but this just isn't worth my time. And I know it can be so difficult, guys, but you need to be able to see when, you know, you're actually being paid nothing. It's actually more efficient for you to go and get a day job at Morrison's, yeah, or Asda, or wherever it is, a local supermarket. You'll get paid more than that £75 I made for a 12-hour shift. Do you know what I mean? And I know it's a difficult balance because, like I said, there may be times that you do need to lower your price just to get a few clients through the door. But then you also need to say, okay, I've lowered my price and I'm still not getting clients through the door. Where do we go from here? Because I guarantee you, continuing to charge a low price, yes, it might, you know, get people in the door, but your back's gonna hurt. Time is money. You're wasting it. and it most likely can be used in a more efficient place where you can get more money for less. So you need to now start thinking, this business, I do enjoy doing it, but is it profitable? Is it worth my time? Is it worth my money? And that's one thing I started to realize, even though, okay, I wasn't getting paid £75, I was getting paid a lot more, but even though I was getting paid so much, for the amount of time that my feet will come, I'll have blisters on my feet, my whole back is hurting, I'm standing up for 12 hours straight, I'm dealing with a range of people that have no manners, you know, that in my time is worth a certain amount of money, and I wasn't getting anywhere near that. And I just had to, after a while, you just have to say, do you know what, this just isn't worth it at all. And it's a hard one, guys, but definitely consider, you know, is this worth it? Lastly then, and this is the biggest lesson that I want you guys to take away, if you've taken nothing else away from this little rant and this little ramble, and me looking back and thinking, you know, I'm so glad I did this business, but the biggest thing I'm happy I did was to eventually cut my losses. If you started a business, and I put my heart and soul into the start of that business, it's the truth. Eventually sitting down and really evaluating everything and realizing, do you know what, this isn't the right move. You know, I've poured so much time, effort into this, but going forward, if I just keep doing this, it's not going to be profitable, it's not scalable, it's not going to get me to where my goals are. Despite all the money and time that I've invested, it's time to cut my losses. And that even includes if you made a loss. I'm grateful because I have a service-based business that actually I didn't have that much like capital expenditure. But say you're in the product industry, you had to buy equipment and all of these kind of things, you might have invested way more than you'll ever get out. And you just have to be realistic and really cutthroat with yourself and say, will I ever get that money out of this business? Or you maybe you will, but in 10 years time, why would I continue that? Guys, cut your losses. Learn where that point is. Give yourself a time where you say, if I haven't made this progress by this time, it's time to close down. And honestly, guys, that's the harsh reality, and that's what I had to do. And I'm so grateful I did it. I'm so grateful I did it because after that, I found YouTube. And this has been the biggest blessing after buying my house, but the biggest blessing in 2022 for me, because YouTube, one, I've been able to help many more people, but I've also been able to generate quite a lot of passive income. So income that once I've put a bit of effort at the beginning, I'm still making money in my sleep, which is money that I have never been able to make in my business. And imagine if I was putting in so much more effort into that, and not even making as much money. I wouldn't have been able to start YouTube. I wouldn't have been able to see this as an opportunity to help others. I feel like I've made so much more impact on YouTube than I've made anywhere else in my life. And that's just the real truth. So guys, when one door closes and you make a conscious effort to do that and you rethink, I truly do believe God will give you opportunities to make the right door open. But if you're still meandering in this silly situation which you know is not profitable and you know that it's not going to go anywhere, then you don't have opportunities to look for other solutions that may go somewhere else. So I would definitely say my last big lesson is learn to cut your losses and cut them fast. Alright guys, so that is it for me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a big thumbs up and drop a comment down below. I don't know if you guys have businesses that have failed, and one thing I can say is it can be a bit demoralizing. You do feel like, oh my days, especially if it's in the public eye, people will see you as a failure or whatever, but honestly, I'm telling you, I don't see it as too much of a failure, or more so the lessons that I have learned completely outweigh the shame or the guilt of failing. So it's definitely a win overall. How about you guys? Do you have businesses? How are they doing? Are you considering closing them, or are they thriving? I love to hear that. Please do drop a comment down below. We're gonna be having more of these chit chats, so let's keep the conversation going in the comments, and I'll see you in my next one.